Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. Alma Khan Sahiba has given a very powerful interview to Mario Naufal. In this interview, she discussed in detail the issues faced by her sons, the current situation with Imran Khan Sahib, and the overall strange spectacle of the constitution and law in the country. She spoke comprehensively, logically and courageously. We will give you details about this and also talk about its significance. Along with this, today a response has come from Sohail Warich Sahib after the various reactions and criticisms against him in recent days, first regarding his columns, and then about the denial issued by the DG ISPR. He has written a new reply in the form of another column. We will also review whether his clarification has satisfied anyone and whether things will now get better for him. Another journalist has been targeted today, one more arrested. Meanwhile, Nawaz Sharif Sahib has again gone to Moeed, where close meetings have already started once again. What is going on behind the scenes in the government will also be discussed. Social media is also very active, and the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government has also come under criticism. All of this will be part of today's vlog. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's begin first with Alma Khan Sahiba's interview. Alma Khan Sahiba gave this interview to Mario Naufal, the same Mario who earlier interviewed Qasim Khan and Suleiman Khan. That interview had received huge attention and millions of views, widely discussed internationally. Mario, whether you call him an influencer, a journalist or anything else, clearly has massive influence, high viewership and international reach. His programs become global news. So naturally this platform is very important. Alma Khan Sahiba gave a live interview on this platform. In it, she covered the overall situation. Mario began by noting that when he had spoken to Qasim and Suleiman earlier, the situation was already bad, but now it had become far worse. He started by asking about the arrest of Alma Khan's sons. She explained how the arrests were carried out, not by simply showing warrants at the gate, but by storming into bedrooms, dragging people away in front of wives and children, creating terrifying and humiliating scenes. She then also spoke about May 9th, saying it was a false flag operation. Not a single person from the establishment died, but instead on November 26th their workers were killed by snipers. She talked about election rigging, how Imran Khan Sahib was sentenced, then his party symbol taken away, then his candidates forced to contest on different symbols, then denied permission to campaign. Yet despite this, people came out in huge numbers, voted, and still their victory was stolen. She discussed how Imran Khan Sahib is being treated in jail. His bail applications are not being heard. He is kept in harsh conditions, denied meetings and basic facilities. She also spoke about her son Hassan Niazi and the military trials, raising concerns about all these matters. Alma Khan's manner of speaking is so similar to Imran Khan's that one feels as though Imran himself is speaking. She engages with international media effectively, responds with logic, and is steadily improving with time in handling tough questions. Since the family is educated and fluent in English, they also have an advantage. The influence of this interview can be gauged from the fact that during the live stream, more than 235,000 people were watching simultaneously at one point, even though the interview wasn't promoted in advance. At the start itself, over 90,000 people had joined, and it quickly grew into the hundreds of thousands. This will, without doubt, cross millions of views in recorded form. Its importance lies in the fact that it was on an international platform with wide reach, ensuring their voice is heard globally. Alma Khan highlighted shocking examples such as families being taken to police stations, including children, simply for distributing sweets on the news of Imran Khan's bail. Mario Naufal, the interviewer, was visibly stunned that even children were treated this way. Her closing remarks were very important. It's not that we are extremely brave, but what option do we have? Should we sit silently while all this happens? We have no choice but to raise our voice, to resist and to support the people. It was a very positive message. Naturally, this interview will generate headlines, discussions and clips shared across platforms, creating international impact, but at the same time, it sparked criticism of PTI's political leadership. So, on social media, many have been questioning why the leadership is not highlighting these issues the way Aleema Khan is. For weeks now, Imran Khan has been denied meetings, yet what exactly has the PTI leadership done? Did anyone go to court or protest or press the government? Instead, only a few tweets or, a 2-minute video message here and there are put out. That is why social media has strongly criticised PTI's leadership, saying while Imran Khan, his wife, sisters and family are suffering, those who won votes in his name are, comfortably sitting in their rooms. Even today, when his nephew had a court hearing, no political leaders were visibly present apart from a few lawyers. When supporters raise these questions, the leadership counters by saying, "Why don't you lead instead?" But people respond, "We gave you votes to free Imran Khan. You are in government, yet conditions are worsening." Moreover, when PTI leaders are seen laughing and taking pictures with those who target Imran Khan and his family, it creates anger. People see it as hypocrisy and collusion. Yet the leadership seems unconcerned, focusing only on slogans while continuing business as usual. This has created clear frustration among PTI workers. Even Imran Khan's family, though restrained in expressing it, seem to understand the reality of what is happening. Sometimes Aleema Khan even hints at it, but those hints are, often ignored. She also avoids making statements because whenever she does, people say, "Oh, she's doing politics." But honestly, why shouldn't she do politics? I personally think she should, especially at a time when no one else is doing politics. At least she is playing the role of leadership. Anyway, this has been the talk of the day and will surely continue to be discussed further. Today, her other son, Sharif, also has a court appearance. Let's see what the situation becomes. But it seems clear that there is no intention to release them anytime soon. And this situation is not limited to just political workers or Imran Khan's family. Anyone who raises their voice against this regime or against injustice ends up trapped. Anyone who criticizes is considered an enemy. For example, senior journalist Khalid Jamil Sahib, former bureau chief of Aj News, who often made critical tweets and hosted critical programs, was first dismissed from his job and later arrested. After some days in custody, he was released when the case against him fell apart, but his job was gone. Since then, he has been working on digital media. But today, suddenly, news came again that Khalid Jamil Sahib was arrested. It was said that FIA's cyber crime wing arrested him, but no explanation was given about which program, tweet or content led to his arrest. At first, it wasn't even clear whether any proper file was registered or not. He was simply picked up from his residence. Hours later, it reached other journalists that apparently he had been arrested for a critical tweet, and charges were filed against him under the PICA Act. This is the problem. When someone says something that the authorities don't like, they can be arrested under PICA. The situation worsens because other journalists don't speak out. Everyone just tries to save their own skin, and when that happens, eventually nobody's skin is safe. Sooner or later, everyone's turn comes. Now Khalid Jamil Sahib has been arrested again, and who knows when he will be released. Ironically, this is the same PECA Act against which journalist organizations once made big promises, loud protests and grand claims. Yet today, the same act is being used, arrests are being made, but now you don't see any journalist organization, any anchors association, any processions, boycotts or complaints. Instead, when government ministers show up, these journalists shower them with praises. Because they get grants, they get jobs, perks, luxuries, foreign tours. So who cares what happens to the rest of the journalist community? That is the situation right now. Tragic, but true. And PICA only seems to apply to critical voices. Otherwise, those aligned with the regime can insult anyone, spread fake news, say whatever nonsense they like, yet PICA is never used against them. On state TV itself, many journalists have spread fake news, hurled abuses, engaged in filth, but PECA never moves against them. Meanwhile, an interesting development came regarding Sohail Warich Sahib. When journalist Arshad Sharif, the late, had said that Sohail Warich fabricated his column, many people demanded fine, then charged Sohail Warich under PECA for spreading fake news about such an important personality. Today, news came that at least an application has been filed against him to register a case. But unlike other cases, we didn't see the same urgency, where journalists are picked up first and then applications are filed later. That activity wasn't seen here. The reason is clear. Sohail Warich Sahib always supports the government and the establishment, so he enjoys their soft corner. Regardless, today Sohail Warich Sahib also issued a detailed written reply to all the criticism. His response spanned 3 to 4 pages, titled "Big Politics and a Humble Journalist." He referred to himself as a humble journalist. His reply to the DG ISPR was fairly appropriate and logical. The DG ISPR had objected to references to apologies and reconciliations, but Warich clarified that he never mentioned Imran Khan's name or May 9th directly. He only referred to political expediency and cited a Quranic verse. If people interpreted it differently, that was their own assumption. And he was right. Nowhere had he written Imran Khan must apologize. People themselves drew that conclusion and criticized him for it. He also clarified that he never claimed in his column that there was a one-on-one meeting or a formal interview. He only wrote about a meeting, not that it was exclusive or an interview. So in that sense, his defense is correct. But beyond defending himself against DG ISPR's objections, in the rest of his response, Warich turned his criticism heavily toward PTI leadership, particularly those abroad. He named Zulfi Bukhari, Faisal Vauda, though no longer in PTI, and several YouTubers living abroad. He expressed deep frustration with them, accusing them of trolling him, abusing him, and even trending hashtags like Sohail Warich is destroyed. Warich reminded that he has always criticized leaders of all parties. During Nawaz Sharif's era, he wrote, "Party is over." During Imran Khan's era, he wrote, "This company won't run." He said every time he writes such columns, leaders get angry. That's journalism, he argued. But most of his sharp words were for PTI people, perhaps because they are already under state pressure and thus easier targets. He even mocked the language PTI used against him. The problem, however, is this. While Warich says he criticizes everyone, the intensity of his criticism of Imran Khan, and even his wife, Bushra Bibi, has been much harsher than what he ever used against the Sharif family or PPP leaders. He once even called Imran Khan a donkey king in his writing. But did he ever use such words for Kulsum Nawaz or Maryam Nawaz? No. That's why PTI supporters react so strongly to him, because his language appears biased. Ultimately, his reply to DG ISPR was smart and calculated. But instead of focusing only on that, he spent most of his energy attacking PTI leaders, vloggers and social media activists. The real issue is simple. When the Constitution is being violated and oppression is happening openly, people expect journalists to be their voice. But when instead you turn on the oppressed themselves, saying you're at fault, you should apologize, you deserve it, then naturally resentment grows. Anyway, this was Sohail Warich Sahib's reply today. Some are praising him for giving a clever response, others say he still dodged the main issue. My sense is that his response to DG ISPR was smart enough, and hopefully no major action will follow against him. That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.